The movie kicks off with Kane being transported while incarcerated. We get a glance at his face and it looks like he was locked away with Jeffrey Dahmer, who is chewing on my guy's face. Man's visage looked like the inside of a pack of salami. That's enough, look away, we get it. So the other officers were escorting him to see his mother one last time. But by the time he got there, she was already with the Flying Dutchman. God damn, she lived a long life. In fact, they were twinning. Let's get our RIP for moms. Then we cut to the next scene, and not even 30 seconds passed, and Kane had these officers in the fast lane to Dreamland, giving Kane an all-day pass on the outside like fist-fighting officers is the only way they get probation. Not long after that, he pulled up to a bar in an entirely different fit. Where did he get the fit from? But these two were trying to put a damper on the moment, talking about some members only. Like, damn, y'all got secret booze in there? Niggas guarding a Krabby Patty secret formula of L. Kane doesn't like the word no, because he started harassing them with his knuckles right after stealing his ability to breathe. And the crazy thing about it, they got their ass beat for a bar they were standing on the outside of. And once Kane walked inside, no one cared, not a single soul. Who in the hell told him to stand guard? Once inside the bar, the victims of the movie gathered nicely around the table like it was a campfire, and they were telling stories. This man right here was concocting a narrative of bravery, of stoic heroism, because he and one of his fellow NPC co-workers were attacked last night. He was like, do you see these eyes? These are the eyes of a killer. The moment he couldn't tell where I was looking, he knew further interaction with me only spelled doom for thyself. And his fellow cast of NPCs was seemingly eating this story from the palm of his hand, like a farm animal. Up until Kane started laughing, drawing attention to himself, calling bullshit to this man's story. And the crazy part is, he could call bullshit, because he was there. They're trying to fuse an axe with this man's body like he had a built-in Pretoria earring. Kane was out there moving with that axe like he was Patrick Bateman. And did this nigga stop at a fire station after escaping prison? Where did he get the axe? I know he didn't walk into Walmart. Call this man's entire bluff. Nigga was standing there shaking like blue-faced legs. Stupefied, the entire room now knows he's a bitch. I'm like, you have to chin check buddy if he's lying on your name. But the two from the outside finally woke up from their nap and rushed in for another nap. Now you're not getting paid. Sleeping on the job twice? Crazy. Then out of nowhere, like this nigga had a Minecraft inventory, he pulled out a sawed-off shotgun. Who are you, Max Payne? From story time to hostage situation. And you know who didn't learn? One of the men from outside. I don't blame him. He was the only one thinking actively. He saw Kane reloading the shotgun as a moment to act. But that one moment had his leg turned into a steaming dish of baby back ribs. Had me reminiscing.
I want my baby back chili.
Kane had a point to prove. Nigga had a sawed off and was like Oprah, handing out gifts. Get it? Handing out gifts. So now at this point, Kane was waiting for his brother to show up to the bar. And just like Joker, this nigga hit this line.
Oh, you wanna know how I got these scars, do you?
He said it! He said it!
Except this time, we get an actual backstory. And it's wild. Take a look at this man. He looks so clean, not deranged. At this moment in time, he was using a different type of axe on his body and not someone else's. And his descent into madness is when he went to ask his brother for some money, which led him to doing a favor for his brother, jacking an old lady, snatching her purse for a loan is wild. Man was getting paid in IOUs, ended up getting caught and sent to prison, expeditiously in fact. And boy, day one in prison, he was approached by Brock Lesnar. He was staring at Kane like he was a black WWE champion. Man just got done with his bowl of steroids and was on bullshit, hitting Kane with a headbutt. Nigga head was massive. That had to be like taking a watermelon to the dome. And you can tell this man does everything in slow motion, like he got hit with a slow beam. Man was swinging in bullet time while everyone else was moving in regular speed. Only 3 swings and dude's head was already twinning with a raspberry. Only cardio this nigga knows is spelled differently and pronounced differently. He trains in Carvel. That shit kinda good though, I'm not gonna lie to you. Brock was in a losing battle. On one hand, Kane was piecing him up like a puzzle, and on the other hand, he was getting jumped. His lungs were attacking him as well, and by the look on his face, his heart wants to turn next. Just imagine this man's bodily functions as the next Pixar movie. Like an episode of JJK. But the size difference finally played a role in the fight. He wasn't treating steroids like Altoids for no reason. This man got on top of Kane mad slow. Man, real life moving in 2006 webcam speed. They started punching like it was hurting him. If someone doesn't come and grab this comic accurate version of Kingpin, embarrassing everybody. Punching his face? Never mind. When he actually landed hit, he moved that bitch like a sledgehammer. Had Kane producing that red 40. But that was the scope of his usefulness. When you move with the speed and sprightness of a sloth, this is bound to happen to you. Kane straddled him like a bull and got to working him. He was beating dude like he had candy in him until someone pulled up random as hell and started treating his body like the game of Operation, trying to turn off Kane's lungs with a knife. And I'll give Kane this, he was still squabbling. Back was going through his time of the month, but he was focused, locked in, fed this man some elbows, pinned his arms against the wall like he knew what time it was. Need the confidence from this bum. Asked him if he could have this dance. Moved him over to the railing, and once that knife was free from his hands, gave him a 2-piece holder biscuit that had him in a food coma. And I don't know who told Sheamus to be this confident. He ran in like the moment was called for him and stole on Kane. But sometimes the call needs to be ignored. One punch had this man wrestling against the door like he just got done with a bender. Nigga was glancing down in disappointment. Man was just trying to fit in. And I don't know who Mr. Clean was, but he sure as hell cleaned the floor with Kane. Man came in like his hands were seasoning and peppered Kane with a beating. And he was the skinniest one, like his diet was crack and Mountain Dew. And this is where things got wicked. They made him share an intimate moment with some dirty ass prison stairs. Man probably has the remnants of Zuzus and Wham Wham dancing on his tongue. Had his pearly whites just crip walking on the top of the stairs before a nigga who watched a little too much WWE came in thinking he was Seth Rollins. And that's how he ended up with the same office Jerome. Now we are in his crash out era. He's about to start acting real different, understandably. Once again, he was approached by 2 of the most non-threatening members in the prison and forced into a fight like he was a Pokemon trainer in any Pokemon game. Like, why were they posted up on wild grass waiting to squabble with a child anyway? Pokemon training can't be that serious. One put out a knife carving a line down Kane's face and had him looking like this. And they still couldn't get the job done. Like, how did you miss? Man kicked a dunk with no defenders at 6'9". Good help is hard to find. Man got hit once and was like this. Had his partner fighting alone and for his life. Like, how do you have a knife and look afraid? Who in the hell keep tasking them with this job? They was better off sending Mr. Cleaning for the ones. Then tell me why the chubby version of Mitchell from Modern Family had his own partner looking off in the distance. They really sent 2 liabilities to squabble. Mitchell handed his own weapon to Kane to be beaten with. So after defending himself, he gets an extra year in prison. This deadass feels like M. Dickey's doing hard time. More time for minding your own business. Having this man Kane slowly becoming Yuri Boyka. Man was having morning squabbles like they were a bowl of Lucky Charms. Who needs coffee when you can have Knuckles to wake up? Kane had one sleeping with a single hit, only to be embraced from behind by a nigga who loved tattoos. You could damn near hear the tattoo gun when he came onto scene. Have to hide your shit from him. But I don't see his vision. Why did he grab him from behind like a broke boyfriend? He was gonna love him into submission? Was he feeling romantical? But I guess he was feeling brave, attempting to hold Kane still as noodle arms came flailing into frame, arms flapping around like a dog's tongue in the wind. Man had his knife stopped with a foot, then kicked off screen. I'm with this man right here. That was some bullshit. And this was the moment we saw that Ink Master had no plan besides getting his face played with. Had that man Naruto running off screen. And why didn't Nissan run back onto screen? Like he was just moving them bitches like he had no control. Man was a real life gang beast. Never seen a man with so much focus and was still ass. Getting himself caught in the Uzumaki barrage. Okay, he's playing a little defense. Mine. Man got his mouth open like he was shocked he had to throw a punch. He gave everything he had. Too bad it was the same amount this nigga had.
I'm broke, man. My life sucks.
Kane had that man's back against the wall, damn near making him hit the TikTok dance before he channeled his inner rapper Wolverine. What is with niggas in this movie and headbutts? They were acting like collecting CTEs were a badge of honor. Aquaman, after Amber Heard pooped on his bed, came back into frame, hitting damn near everybody but his target. Nigga was swinging like he understood the concept of a punch, but not yet how to fully utilize one. Getting himself a second date with Kane Knuckles, then that was it. Aquaman started singing like it was karaoke night and he couldn't wait his turn. Laying out all the details like he was an architect. He didn't want to skip one single step. But let me take a step back. Look at this man. I shouldn't have to say it, but boo this nigga. Why in the f was he just standing there holding this bum up by his arms like he needed someone to hold him up? This man looked unharmed. You're holding the wrong arms up. You should have been holding yours up and knuckled up while you were at it. He had the audacity to look shocked. I mean, I would too. He came in normal. Now he's all but licking his lips every time someone punches him, taking all the fun out of jumping someone. Also, he had a certified Zenkai boost. Man was stockpiling ass whooping for experience points. And this man Kane is comedy as hell. He went to the one dude taking his I just got my ass whooping nap to interrogate him instead of the multitude of people that were fully conscious. He had a 20k bounty on his head placed by his brother. You can't trust no damn body anymore. But this part of the plan had me confused. He fought mad people. Understandably, I would have taken a shot at him myself for 20k. But was it 20k each or a 20k split? They were doing all this for roughly 1k a piece? How many Zuzus and Wham Whams can you get in prison for 1k anyway? These niggas really want that 20k split 20 ways because they just kept coming at him for a squabble damn near daily, becoming a part of his morning routine. Brush, breakfast, and squabbles. Kane started off the next exchange showing this NPC his tray like he was showing him a TikTok, then used it to take his mind off things. If you look closely, You could see the memory of his firstborn taking his first steps. All the while, Kane thought of whacking everyone with that tray like a blindfolded nigga trying to hit a pinata. Then we have this man. Let's pause for a sec. Boo this nigga. We have to. He jumped on the table, seizing the high ground like he was Obi-Wan just to get f***ed up. Like, look, he could have snuck in without getting airborne. I'm still wondering how they plan to split that 20,000. Because even if you were a part of the team, if the only thing you did was get your ass beat, you can't get paid. And it seemed like none of them had money on their mind. Kane must have been locked in a prison for hardened victims, because that's all these were, victims. Kane picked a table up and chucked it at him. Just like how the word table was chucked around TikTok in 2023. Kane was just asking them what they brought to the table, just not in so many words. And I don't know if that was the enchantment table from Minecraft or something, because they had the three of them stuck on stupid, not progressing any further, like Kane tossed out some mountain ash. And they just left their co-worker in buffoonery on dolo. But hey, at least he had a front row seat to a Rev Theory concert, because Kane was feeling like 07 Randy for real. No one can stop a nigga that's hearing voices. And you would think that with this newly allotted time they had, together they would formulate a plan, a strategy, anything. Hell, a concept of a plan. They stood there like they were a part of the Three Stooges comedy special, taking their beating. And when one finally decided to make a move like it was a turn-based squabble, he just stood there afterwards, becoming a visual representation of what Tyrese was talking about. They're learning. It's like watching your baby take their first steps. Don't make so much noise, you don't want them to fall. But in his case, get his ass beat. And ass beat he got. Like, he just kept hugging Kane's legs as he got his back beaten. What is his goal? Nigga was down there so long like he was reading the kids in Kane's nuts a bedtime story. Because it couldn't be to hold him in place while the others jump him. This was the level of help he had. Had dude holding his head like he couldn't believe he was just punched. Nigga, it's a squabble. Ponytail did all that holding to just let go. Like barely any resistance. Nigga ran out of MP like he was in Dragon Age, because he just stood there taking and helping them knuckles like it was a one-a-day vitamin. Doctor recommended, leaving this man to take a beating on dolo, because he was just standing over there watching. He was like, I'm not getting involved. He was like, go over there alone, because the moment another NPC came in the frame massaging Kane with their fist, here comes Ponytail like he never left. You just watched your fellow inmate get harassed like Franklin did in the first seasons of Snowfall. No shame. It's just the fact that both of them were dismissed faster than Ozzy and Karen from the set of the new Daredevil TV show. Like, how in the hell is Kane the only one improving? Y'all have to hop in the lab as well. For 20K, I see no passion, besides a kinky passion of having their asses bruised from a beating. And Big Dude took a spear from Kane like the man shifted into Braun Breaker out of nowhere. I bet Big Dude was looking through Kane's attack list like, I don't see spear. Where did it say this nigga becomes Raiden? You're telling me he sat back there and watched this masterclass ass whooping Kane was painting in front of him like he was Bob Ross and thought he was gonna be enough? Man threw the Spirit Fingers version of a punch, then ate a mukbang. 3-piece, no bev. Kane was mad disrespectful. This man's gonna have prison bumps on his face now. Kane really wiped the bottom of his shoe clean on his face. Then here comes bruh man, walking in mad deviously with his prison hot chocolate like he was one of Santa's elves trying to surprise a big man with a warm treat. Nigga was walking like he heard the Pink Panther theme song or idolized Swipe of the Fox. Either one. And just like Zuko's father, he was out here burning people in their face, using that shit like it was holy water, and Kane was possessed. That's the wrong Kane. My boy, this is not supernatural. But still getting your ass beat after all that was wild to me. The man used his ult, and that was the scope of his plan. He was like, toss the water, then get my ass beat. Okay, I understand. Had dude chewing on porcelain like he had veneers. Just imagine after all that, your 19th brawl in like 4 months, having a doctor pull sugar off your face because people think you're sweet, and you stand before a judge or whoever this was and get blamed for it again. You gotta be sucking my... My bad. But Kane took it in stride. This man started to become a demon, entered his training arc to the next level, and then started collecting bodies like Thanos did the stones. Like, at what point do they stop? Y'all not getting the 20K in the afterlife. Man thought of bending metals with his knuckles, and this part had me scratching my head a little bit. After this nigga became a one-man army, they still let him out to visit his mother. Like, look at what happened. At least send him with the best soldiers you have. Hell, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, maybe toss a little Batman in there. But that wasn't it for story time, because this nigga's face was like a magnet for an ass whooping. I don't know what god of war he pissed off, but some mystical being had to be marionetting him into squabbles, because even the officers who arrested him for manslaughter was on his ass. Because his brother was a criminal. What that gotta do with me? Why are you saying me for? I was snatching purses. I obviously don't have money. What millionaire do snatching grabs? You have this man sliding gloves on his hand like he was Roy Mustang, and he knew to cuff Kane's hands behind his back before he started, and he still damn near lost. Had this man looking at his feet like he was Dan Snyder. But there was only so much you could do with no arms. The officer had Kane producing Red 40 like a Skittle factory, had bro's mouth leaking like the end of a sentence, all because he thought he was Craig and speared him into the wall, I guess. But the flashback ended when Kane's brother finally arrived at the bar, and Kane ushered the new arrivals to where the other hostages were standing. I half expected him to start blasting the moment they came in the bar like Team Rocket at the end of an episode, but nah, they just kept talking. Like, what are you trying to prove, Kane? You know he's responsible. Paint the walls with his memories. You know damn well your brother's like a cartoon character's fit. He's never gonna change. But apparently we learned why the brother put 20K on his head. It was because of this officer. He works with Kane's brother, feeding him false information. Like those Facebook feeds having them elderly niggas eating out the palm of their hands. Like damn, why lie on me? Was it defeat? I apologize. But Kane didn't let that slide. And we get yet another flashback. This man loves a good story time. Once he's done with his get back, he can have a great YouTube career with these story times. My experience in the Supermax prison. I can see the 1 million views already. But this story time is best left off the tubes because what he did to this officer was wild. But I'll say this. This officer, this cop, was no bitch. He took his jacket off with excitement to toss hands. Even sending the other dude out the room, he wanted his ones. So maybe even if Kane was uncuffed, he would have got work like a morning shift at Denny's. Because man, you would think all the training Kane went through was prep for a movie role or something. Because he was just getting the beats put on him like he was in an Apple commercial. Once I seen this officer scoop him up and start carrying him like a fireman, I was lost. Kane, you were talking yourself up. Now you're getting lifted up like a baby who's ready for nap time? Back meat planted through a table like it was growing season. I'll give Kane the benefit of the doubt. He's in a different setting. Maybe he could only access his full power inside the prison walls. Like that place was his domain expansion. The aroma of Zuzus and Wham-Whams acted as gamma radiation and gave him a power boost. But he was finding his bearings and tossed out a combo like a fast food worker in a food fight. And each one was landing perfectly. Kane stood up casting out kicks. Man must have some good knees. Needed no time to rest from standing up to kicking. Must be nice. All those toes to the body had the officer lashing out a bit. Not gonna lie, this nigga look like Dr. Phil a little bit. Why did I just notice? And after spewing out this NPC dialogue, the man became ass. Depleted all his usefulness. Man started tossing out punches like he ate the gum fruit. You can't stretch. Get closer. Kane hit this man with a bro kick, shifting from Sheamus to Edge, taking him through this poorly built wall. Thing looked like an Amazon cardboard box. All that to be kicked back to the original setting, and Officer Dr. Phil came through the hole, wielding his very own tool of demise. It was nice of him to not only pick up the weapon, but hand deliver it to Kane. That type of helpfulness is rare, so he deserved this reward. Call that bitch the double whammy. Then we come back to the present, where Kane and his brother was having like a presidential debate or something. Just going back and forth about right, wrong, abandonment, being set up. I'm just watching the movie like, shoot him. Because 7 years in prison with a 20K bounty on your head, the only conversation we are having is gun talk. Nigga would have been cosplaying Swiss cheese. I don't need no conversation. I don't need to understand anything. I'm situationally illiterate, and this shotgun is the only learning aid I have. The movie went from Get Back, the movie, straight to a talking simulator. I don't know what he's trying to earn from talking with his brother for so long. He's a psychopath, but this man was running his mouth the whole movie until he finally talked himself into becoming a clicker. All he had to do was be quiet. But no, he just had to keep being heard. Even after all that, the brother was still threatening him. Once more, shoot this nigga. Then we get another flashback where we see where he got the shotgun from. But now I understand his plan. He wanted to let his brother know that he's ruining him. It's over. The get back was not only for him, but for everyone else his brother wronged. But it was time for the final showdown. And the behind the counter hit Kane in the head with a bottle. But why would Kane trust her behind him? She was shit talking him the entire time. You would think her mouth was manure. The fight just transformed into pitch practice, with them just tossing a seamlessly endless supply of drinkware. Who in the hell is back there using command codes to spawn in more glass? Then the bartender tossed out a perfectly placed bag of melee weapons into the center of the room. What in the hell was she collecting weapons for? Bitch about to start her own anger room? Not a lot of them was staring each other down, armed with weapons, and Kane was eagerly inviting them to the squabble. Whoa, I'm taking a second. I'm thinking about this. Why is he so eager to fight me? I got this weapon in my hand now. I'm supposed to be tough. Is he more tough with no weapon? This NPC must have felt like Prince Adam with that knife in his hands, thinking it was gonna turn him into He-Man. But nah, nigga became Captain America's shield for Kane, just taking blows for him before being dropped faster than targeted DEI. And the next one came in, full Billy Madison. Nigga learns very slow because he came in and the same thing that happened to the last man happened to him. Instead of Cap's shield, he was more like Thor's hammer. All that talking the brother was doing, he was in a bat like a Pokemon trainer tossing all his employees into danger. And danger they were in because Kane was using that cricket bat as if they both went way back. His first weapon of choice. Do you know what stopped him in his trusty bat?
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the
Damn near everyone in this movie was treating that spear like a jab, like it was a move installed by default in everyone's moveset. Too bad none of them seem to have learned a follow-up after the spear. Man got himself trapped into a genjutsu of ass whooping. I just like how everyone was just standing in the corner acting like they were Velma looking for their glasses. All the while, Kane was bouncing back and forth between these two, beating the hell out of them. Teamwork? No. Fire this nigga. Not only is he a coward, This is the second time he ran, but when he came back, man did more harm than good, writing his name on this NPC's back using lead. Then he was like Amazon same day delivered Kane a gun, which still had more bullets in it. What the hell, I thought the gun ran out of bullets. The way he was just standing there, I don't know what this one NPC took, but he came back different, actually giving Kane a fight on Dolo. Had Kane flying spirit, no layovers. I mean, I guess there was one. You can tell it's been a while since Kane was flown out like an IG baddie. Had him reverting into a basic NPC. He channeled the one move that everyone in this movie was using and speared this through a table, but he was still giving Kane a run for his money. Had Kane think he was in True Blood or something, the way he ripped his throat out with his teeth, then door dashed him a 3-piece. But Kane kept getting stabbed in that one spot. Throughout the entire movie, man's back was getting carved like a Thanksgiving turkey. Like damn, any lower, them shits would have been BBL injections. And Greasy Hair was the 5th person to deliver their own weapon of destruction to Kane. Kane inserted that knife into that man's chest like a house key and sent him home. Then the next NPC came and must have liked the way it looked and brought his own weapon. He was like, kill me. In fact, the last also delivered Kane another weapon to use against himself. Were they criminals or post office workers? And his brother sat there watching all his men get destroyed, then try to act tough. Like you had a gun the entire time, help your people out. But just like I thought, the gun was empty because Kane was shooting the hell out that thing. And he had to rely on thrown hands. I don't know why the brother thought he stood a chance against Kane. The Arc Demon had him spilling like a drunk at a bar. Can't show it, too much blood. But we knew he wasn't gonna survive. Bringing us to the end of the movie. That was some beautiful get back. Come on, we gotta clap it up for Kane. He did it well. Excellent, in fact. That's an A+ get back right there. Thanks for watching. Until next time.